Hey guys, in this month's top 5, I'm going to be sharing my 5 favorite books that I think you would enjoy if you are a fan of Doctor Who. I was having a lot of trouble trying to think what top 5 I could do this month, and then it hit me that Doctor Who is going to be starting on BBC America August 23rd, I believe. So I figured, hey, I can share 5 books that are kind of Doctor Who-ish that fans of Doctor Who may enjoy. And vice versa. If you have read any of these books and you liked these books, then you may actually like Doctor Who. At number 5 is Outlander by Diana Gabaldon. This is a historical fiction piece about a woman who is a nurse in 1945, and she is visiting Scotland with her husband, and she finds herself around these standing stones. It's an ancient circle of standing stones. And then suddenly she is hurled back in time to the 1700s, where she encounters a bunch of Scotsmen and clan wars, and she has to kind of navigate her way around this new world and not let up the fact that she is from the future. I recommend Outlander mostly in part, not just because of the time travel, but because of relating to a lot of the episodes of Doctor Who that have a historical context. A lot of my most favorite episodes of Doctor Who are actually the historical episodes. I really love the Family of Blood episodes. I also adore the Empty Child / the Doctor Dances, Tooth and Claw. The list could go on. There's tons of Doctor Who historical episodes. At number 4 is The Airfare by Jasper Fforde, or also known as the Thursday Next series. This series is about a woman who is a literary detective, meaning that she can kind of transport herself back and forth into fiction, literary fiction, which is a really interesting concept and kind of hard to explain. You just have to read the book to understand what I'm even saying. This book also takes place in an alternative England. For instance, I believe the Crimean War is actually still going on in this book. It takes place in the 80s, and obviously the Crimean War ended way before the 1980s. And dodos, you know, the little birdie things, those are not extinct. You can have a dodo for a pet, which is like a super awesome idea, by the way. I would totally want a pet dodo. And the reason I pick this book for fans of Doctor Who is the fact that this book is just so quirky, and there's so many references, literary references, witty humor, puns, and Doctor Who is always full of stuff like that. I think if you like episodes like The Shakespeare Code, or The Lodger, or The Wedding of River Song, I think this book would be a particularly likable thing for you. At number 3 is probably an obvious choice that needs to be on any list of recommendations for Doctor Who fans, and it is The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy by Douglas Adams. To be honest, I did not really like this book that much. I liked the first half of the book, but then it was the second half that I just was not getting it. It was just starting to get kind of stupid and boring. I felt like the author was purposely trying to be overly intelligent and make the reader feel stupid. But this is not a book review for The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. I'll do that at another time. But yes, I recommend The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy for Doctor Who fans, like The Airfare, because of the quirky humor. And plus, this book takes place pretty much entirely in space and on spaceships. So that would be like a lot of those Doctor Who episodes where the Doctor and his companions are up in space and trying to fix some sort of problem. I think dinosaurs on a spaceship would be a good episode to kind of correspond with this book. Dinosaurs on a spaceship, how much more quirkier and weird can you get? And I think that episode kind of perfectly sums up this book, how quirky and weird it is. But yeah, a quick summary of what this book is even about. It's about this guy named Arthur Dent. He finds out the world is about to be annihilated, and so he escapes with his friend Ford Prefect, and they end up going on a bunch of journeys through space. And I really feel like this book is almost the equivalent of a sort of anti-Doctor Who, if that makes any sense. For instance, Arthur Dent is kind of the anti-version of a companion. He's just really kind of bland. He just doesn't really care that he's out in space, and it's just like, oh, that's interesting. And then you have Ford Prefect, who almost comes across as this anti-version of the Doctor himself, which is kind of hilarious. At number 2 is Cinder by Marissa Meyer, or also known as The Lunar Chronicles. The Lunar Chronicles are fairy tale retellings. If you cannot tell from the title, this one, Cinder, is a retelling of Cinderella. The next book is Scarlet, which is Little Red Riding Hood. And the third book is Cress, which is a retelling of Rapunzel. And then the fourth book, which hasn't come out yet, is called Winter, which is a retelling of Snow White. The Lunar Chronicles takes place in a futuristic world, still on Earth. And the world has been inhabited by these people called the Lunars, who came from the moon. And there's just a lot of technology and advancements, but there's also this really dangerous plague going on. And if you like episodes of Doctor Who, such as New Earth or The End of the World, I think you would really highly enjoy the Lunar Chronicles. And at number 1, I kind of cheated you guys. I picked a Doctor Who book called Festival of Death by Jonathan Morris. For Christmas, I got the 50th anniversary collection of Doctor Who books, and I've made my way through them so far. And my favorite Doctor Who story from that group of books so far is this one, Festival of Death. This book features the 4th Doctor and his companion Romana. And the Doctor and Romana, they are, traveling around in the TARDIS. They come across this spaceship sort of place where it has a theme park on it. And this theme park is called the Festival of Death. And people can basically pay to get on this ride and experience death firsthand. But not worry about actually dying. They can be revived, and then they can experience death over and over again as long as they pay for it. And it's just a very fascinating, interesting concept, and there's so many timey-wimey elements in this. There's so much back and forth. You actually get the very end of the story first, and then you get the middle, and then you get the beginning. So this book, it doesn't go in chronological order, it goes in backwards chronological order, which is really interesting, and I think Jonathan Morris does a fantastic job of weaving this story together and making it interesting and unique, but also very easy to understand without getting confusing, because this book could easily get confusing if you're not paying attention to the littlest details. But yes, so one of my favorite Doctor Who books at the moment, and I would highly recommend this one to Doctor Who fans. So that's it for this month's top 5. In the comments below, I'd really love to know if you guys are excited for the new season of Doctor Who. I know that I certainly am excited. I am excited for some new stories and plots, and I'm super excited for a new Doctor. And also let me know, what are some of your favorite episodes of Doctor Who? Like I said, I particularly love the historical episodes, but I think one of my all-time favorites has got to be the episode called Midnight, featuring David Tennant's Doctor. Oh my goodness, that episode scared me to death, and just such a fantastic episode that only takes place in just one little room. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and if you liked this month's top 5, you may like these. Bye guys.